How's it going, Shy?
I guess fine. I know that many things happened, but I can't remember any of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess ultimately fine. I'm at the point we're at the point of the night where it's like, where are my keys? What's happening? Oh, did I do that thing? Oh no, I'm supposed to email these people. A lot of that. Just
Yo,
yeah, wrapping up 'cause it's the holidays and I don't I don't really get presents for people. It's not that I don't want to.
right.
I'm bad at it and I'm just, well, what do you want? You know what I mean? Like I'm that person. Like what do you don't make me think. And so for the holidays it's really just my sister and
So
and
you're bad at getting one person a gift?
one person. Yeah, one person. And which is rough because she is self-proclaimed excellent at gifts. She will
Ooh,
let everybody know that she is the best at gifts. And I mean she's good. She's good. She's fine.
okay.
Yeah, she's fine. But then I'm like, then why am I working so hard? I don't know. You know. so
Tell me
uh
what you would get you, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. If you were to buy for you, what would you get? And then I
Yeah.
get that. But yeah, but I did get her a couple. Here's how I shop. I buy a lot of stuff for me. And then the stuff comes in and I go, I don't actually need this. But you know who this makes me think of? And boom, that's that person's present.
That's kind of fire, actually.
So that here's the thing I did. I've been carrying around these bags that I got an ad for on Instagram like oh no, months ago. And maybe like a year ago. And I bought a couple and I liked them, so I bought two more in different colors because they
Okay.
had all these colors. And I was like, "Great, I'm fine with these 4." And then, another year comes around, they got a big sale. I'm like, "Okay, let's see what colors they got, blah, blah, blah." They had a nice red color, and right now I am moving towards red, but a particular shade of red. Here's the thing with loving colors, but being particular about it. You're really y you're guesstimating based on how they've styled the thing or how the colors look on the phone. So it looked like a brick red, which is what I'm into.
Right.
My favorite shade of red is like a dark brick red. Um, so I'm like, great. I ordered one in that color. I ordered one in a brown. I ordered a gray one. I'll always get the gray version of whatever it is that's out there. Um, and brown because love brown. A particular shade of brown, I believe Pantone just named mocha mocha mousse, which is just a nice milk chocolate brown as the color for 2025. And I'm
Whoa.
very excited about that because that means all of these places will be like, oh, well, if that's the color, we got to make a bunch of shit. Even if no one wants brown stuff, guess what? I want brown stuff.
What
So I'm gonna buy up all this brown shit because before I can't get it for another 25 years. Um,
the
so the bags came in while I have them sent to my job. I'm there with my coworker, and the one who I like, the coworker I like the most, the one who I've seen outside of work. We've done things outside of work,
Okay.
um, and uh, and so I'm checking them out. I'm like, oh, here's the red one. That's the one I was the most concerned with. I pull it out, and it is red, but they called it cherry red, and I understand why. There's a little more pink than there was brown to it for a brick
Okay.
red. Perfectly fine red, but not exactly the shade that I was looking for. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, I mean, I guess I could make it work, but it's not the exact red I was looking for. And then I looked over at my coworker and I'm like, this is everything that she wears. Not ever,
Mm.
but just like her whole color story. This color is perfect for that. and it's just a minute difference, but I'm like, this would work best with everything she's got. And meanwhile, she's like, "Oh, those are cute. Oh, that's nice." And I said, "Hey, are you on it?" And I'm and
Yo,
she's like, "I can't take." I was like, "Trust me, I won't use this as much as I thought I would because it's not, the shade I'm looking for, but it is perfect for everything you wear, is it not?" And she was like, "It is." And I said, "Congratulations, you have a new bag."
yo, that's kind of beautiful, Sha.
Yeah, yeah. So, but it leaves the presentation, it makes it feel like it's an afterthought. It's not, I mean, I guess it is kind of, but it's really just like, this won't work for me, but who will this work for?
Yeah.
Is what I'm thinking. Because I don't want it to languish in my closet. And I, don't want to just throw it into the goodwill void. If there's someone I know who would benefit from it, I'd rather give it to them.
I'd
And
argue this is more giving. Like this is like a truly selfless act
right,
because you're not just buying for your favorite people, you're buying and willing to give to the person that it best helps.
right. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. If there was someone else in that office who I thought, based on the colors that they wear, I was like, "Hey, do you want this bag? This, I think this goes with what your whole thing." Then I would have done that. But as it turns out, that person was already standing next to me.
Yo, I gotta tell you, I think you just created a new holiday.
What?
I think once a year, everybody should buy a thing that they think is nice
Mhm.
and have to give it away by the end of the day.
Okay, all right,
Real
interesting.
talk. I think it, like a $20 budget, so it's not crazy,
Right.
but like it would be a cool way of spreading joy throughout the world and at least your community. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I got this thing, I like it, I saw it at the store, and I've been, I don't know who I'm gonna give it to today, but it made me think of you today. Boom, here you
Oh,
go.
yeah, perhaps. I got another thing. I won't say what this is because I'm actually giving this away, but I got an ad for another thing on IG that I was like, it made me think of 2 people immediately,
Okay.
and I was like, "Oh, well, I guess I better get that." I guess that's how people buy gifts. If they see a thing and they're like, "Oh, this makes me think of so and so." And that
Yeah,
was, like, months ago, and I'm like, "Let me go ahead and get this because if I wait until the time that I'm supposed to get gifts for people, who knows if I'll find this again."
yeah.
And, or I'll be struggling like, "What can I get for so and so?" And it's like, "No, it's right here." So,
Mhm.
I just kind of act on the moment.
That's beautiful.
But, yeah, so
Gabby's
yeah.
one of those. Like, she's been Christmas shopping since like the Easter Bunny came out. Like,
Right, yeah.
real talk. And she got like a list and she's
Mhm.
checking people off. Then there's like audibles, like, hey, I added these 4 people because they've been high performers this year for whatever reason. Like I've been seeing they in a rotation.
Right.
You got the regulars, which is mostly like nieces, nephews, parents, siblings,
Mhm.
close friends, and then she was like, check it off. And like randomly it'll be like a day in May. She's like, hey, found this for Christmas. You know what I mean? We don't gotta worry about your nephew. As I gotta tell you, wasn't worried
Wasn't
about it.
thinking about it at all.
Real talk. So unconcerned in May about
Yeah.
this gift. And like, but I know like admittedly, I want to give gifts.
Mhm.
And I would say like this week is when I would start to like stress about it
Sure.
until about, the last like 4 to 5 years dating Gabby, she's
Right.
taking that away. Cause like once I start to stress, she'll be like, oh, don't worry about it. I got everybody done. I'm like, and like I promise you, right now, there is no one to buy something for. Like Gabby
Wow.
is so ahead on that. Like she chuckles about like Black Friday. She's like amateurs. She's like, I've been ahead of this.
Yeah, no, no, no. I think that's the smart way to do it is throughout the year when you see a thing and it makes you, if it speaks someone's name to you,
Yeah.
go ahead and get it. Because you gotta act on it because you'll never find it again when you're like, "Oh, I'll go back to it." There's no going back, buddy.
Nah, you
Just
missed
if
that
it
moment.
Yeah, just go ahead and do that. I will say though, I have purchased a television on Christmas Eve day at a
Okay.
Walmart. So I mean, look, you know what I mean? Just like, what am I gonna get? Well, let me just go in here and get this right quick, and then had to hide that shit. in a car until I could bring it into the house. So like I know from procrastination. And when I tell you it was probably the easiest shopping experience I had in a while, where I just
Yeah,
came in and was like, that one. And they're like, okay. And then I just rolled up and then I just got it in my car. And my sister
that's
was
pretty
like,
dope.
you weren't gone long at all. And I was like, I don't know. I know there should be lines out the wazoo, but I just I hope I paid. Really? It was so seamless. I hope I paid for
Oh man, the stolen gift. I like it.
it.
That's beautiful.
Oh, what's
I,
going on with you?
I'm chilling. I'm getting ready for the holidays, feeling really like really thankful overall and just happy. We had a Kenny DeForest memorial show.
Oh
Homeboy
yeah.
passed away. One of our like friends, comic of the community, passed away a year ago. We did a show commemorating him. It went beautiful. People came out, shared some awesome stories. We got to capture it, trying to make that into an album later for like kind of like a tip of the cap to the homie.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but yeah, it was just kind of beautiful being in a room and like, being around uh your peers. And I don't know, it hit me like I gotta tell you, Sha, I didn't realize I'm friends with comedians. Up in like I don't know why,
Okay.
like I
All
in
right.
my head, I work with comedians. I'm a comedian,
Uh-huh.
but I have my friends
Right.
that like, and most of my friends, when I think of my friends, oh, I've known you like 25, 30 years. And it
Mhm.
hit me that like, oh, I spent all my time with comics. And
Right.
like I've become friends with comedians. Like, and that ain't hit me till like this week. That like
Okay.
Gabby was asking me, um, hey, like, is there anyone you want to invite to like holiday stuff? And I was like, I mean, the usual people. She's like, yeah, but like, how about like you talk to me about only comics, guys? So you don't even see your friends like that.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, first of all, Shy, you are invited to New Year's.
Oh
Uh,
yeah?
letting you know right now, you are welcome to come over. I'm gonna send the list to the other people's, but she made a point. She's like, you're inviting Shalewa, right? I was like, yeah.
Oh, okay,
Um,
because I know I truly am gonna be the only thing I've got scheduled for New Year's Eve is physical therapy.
real
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah,
So you
so
coming in limbo? That's what's up.
yeah,
You know
limber
what I
or
mean?
poor, it depends. We'll see.
But yo, but like it, like I don't know why, like between like her convo, Kenny's show, like it hit me like yo, like over the last like 15 years, I've pretty much spent all my time with comics.
Mhm.
And like, oh, like you end up close with people, you know?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
I don't know why like that seemed like a weird revelation to me. But like I was like, yo, I was like, yo, I'm really cool with these people. She's like, yeah. Like you
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, it's when it's a thing that you have decided to make your job, um, you you approach it you particularly will approach it in a different way, like, "This is how I make my living. These other people are out here with me. I guess they are also kind of making it their living to various different degrees. We are all out here working.
Yeah,
Therefore, you're my coworker." And I don't know how you were at other jobs, your previous jobs, like how many friends you made with coworkers,
right.
but, you know, at a certain point, when you're like, "I'm not here to make friends," like that's
Yeah,
you can be that way, or you can be like, "Yeah, I'll be friendly with folks." Am I am the kind of person where I'm like, "Yeah, nah, you're this kind of people."
right,
And, I'll let a few of you in, but
right,
that can be yeah, that's a little bit tough with comedy because 'cause you're seeing them every night. Mm,
right. Like
oh
it changes the dynamic of it. Like, and because our job is doing the things that friends do.
yes. You only see them at bars. You know
Yeah,
yeah, there's always alcohol around. It's late at night,
right.
and you're doing a thing, um uh, where you're either breaking up a party or you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's all, like, very extremely social type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's different. I know when I before I moved here, I had like kind of a going away party in Atlanta,
Right.
and I threw it like a month before leaving because I was like, "Oh, I have to take my house apart,
Mm.
and I'll let these comics in, but they're not friends enough to see what my house will look like when I'm packing up shit.
Right, right.
You'll get to see what the but also for most of those comics, first time in my house.
Yo,
I had no idea where I live. They were like, "Oh, you live oh, huh." And only a
we been
few of
neighbors
them.
this whole time?
Yeah, right, exactly. One guy was like, "No, I literally grew up like down the street from here."
Yo.
And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. You told me where you grew up. I knew." Yep. Why would I say, "Oh, I'm over"? No, you. Yep. That kind of thing. Um, but it was the comedy party. So I didn't
Yeah.
invite any of my friends outside of comedy to that because this was the me me bonding with the friends that I've made in comedy. And so, yeah, it's a little different. But even now, like I've got um I've got a certain crew of people,
Yeah.
comedy based, that are like, okay, you guys can see the inside of my house. And I mean, there have been some who have seen that I'm just like, I don't know. You're one I would have normally let in, but all right, go ahead.
You
You're with
hear,
the
yeah, the
others. You know what I mean?
forward
Like,
yeah.
hey, I don't know. That kind of thing. But yeah, yeah, you do. It's like, who do I want to see outside of, a show? Who would I want to
Yo,
see in the daytime?
it's like a weird cheat code in the friendship that
Hmm.
like for example, because of the nature of my comedy, like, and I'm telling stories, like I'm talking about my life.
Right.
So like there's people that if you've seen me perform a lot, you know what I'm dealing with.
Yes.
Where and like I have friends that like I know are good friends that like they busy. We haven't had that convo yet.
Right.
You
Right.
know, so like I'm gonna talk to them and I'll
Hmm.
tell them anything, but it's I ain't had that convo. Whereas if you doing the rounds with me, you know everything. Like so, like there's a intimacy level you achieve with
Hmm.
comics that like I don't think people associate. And it's fun hearing other people talk about stuff on stage that like um it's incredibly personal, and
Hmm.
yet they don't want to talk about it off stage. You know,
Right.
so
Yeah.
like the only people that know are the comics, you know, so like they're
Right.
like, nah, be like, I ain't really comfortable with the dress, you know, and like, but like you just that was like 15 minutes on stage and you just talking about that, you know?
Yeah. And also the nature of what we do, I mean, depending on how you do it, you are um you're seeking the approval from an audience, and
Yeah,
that can leave you in like kind of a vulnerable state.
right,
So, and you're all in that state because that's the goal for all of you.
right,
So, depending on how it goes, you may be in a different emotional state than you would be if we were just buddies hanging out.
right,
So, I'm seeing someone come off a stage and things maybe didn't go the way they had hoped, and everyone else is like, "Oh, yeah, that was great," but you see that they are a little beaten down, and you
right.
can speak to that. Like, you're seeing them in these you're seeing each other in these moments of just like, "I don't know, man." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
when you see your friends, no matter how close, there's still, like, a moment of, "Hey, what's up with you?" "Oh, not much. How you doing?" You gotta go through that kinda small talk
right,
before you get to, like, the real.
right.
When 2 comics see each other, it's like, "What's up with you?" And their answer could be like, "Oh my god, I'm just thinking about quitting comedy again, like, all this
Real
shit
talk.
is bullshit." I like, it starts from, like, a real dark, deep place, and then you
Yeah, we
work up.
already on 9, yo.
And then you work yourself back to, like, waka, waka, waka. But it starts from just like, "Yo, this shit like, just
Yeah,
blah," and then you find the humor in that, and that's like you're working backwards in the relationship with someone that I absolutely like, "You're not in my phone.
yeah,
Why am I telling you all of this? You're not in my phone." "No, but you know what it is? We've been booked on 3 shows together in the past 2 weeks. You're
Right.
my we're touring together for the most part.
Real talk. You know my wars. You know my
Yeah.
struggles right now. Real
Yeah.
talk. Even if
So
like that's not your birth name, I know you made it up for the stage.
right,
You
right.
know, but like yo, you my people this week.
Yeah.
Real talk. But yeah, like it hit me like we had this super vulnerable show,
Mhm.
and I was very appreciative of the people there. And like it occurred to like, oh, I'm friends with people that are like comics. And like this is like because I started looking at I had a moment like after this is at the Gutter Bar for those y'all like unfamiliar. It's a really cool hangout spot, but like there's like a space outdoors with some benches. So like I'm sitting on the bench. I'm just by myself
Like in the
and
front?
in the front.
Yeah,
And
okay.
like a lot of the comics will come out and just talk after a show. And I'm looking
Mhm.
at a lot of them. And I was like, I don't know like where in life I would have met you if we weren't comics. Like I don't know
I
how that
mean,
interact like we wouldn't have crossed paths.
yeah.
And yet sincerely, I rock with you.
Right.
Bottom of my heart. I like you as a person. I think you're funny. I think and like I trust you. And like I didn't realize that until like the show, like, oh, we're like a friendship. And I, like real talk. It hit me weird. Like real talk. I feel if I would have met you outside of comedy, I'd be friends with you.
Right.
Just that. I can't say that for every comic.
No,
I can't
that's
say that for most comics, I gotta say.
yeah,
Real
honestly.
talk.
Yeah, there are a lot of people, that I'm like, "There's no reason for us to know each other.
At all.
It's only
This
through this." And
yeah.
there are people that I adore, but I cannot I like, for the most part, anyone who is in, like, to me, my comedy fam, my legit comedy fam, are people that I think that if I met them outside of comedy, we'd be friends.
Right.
But then there are other folks where I'm like, I don't know if we'd ever why would we meet?
Yeah, I don't even know where. Like
I don't know
we ain't in the
how
same clubs. I don't like none of your song
yeah,
choices.
how would this work, you know?
Yo. And
Yeah,
it's been eye-opening. Like I think it's truly like one of the things I'm most grateful for. Like it hit me like, oh, like I've met people that like I wouldn't have. It's opened my perspectives. I've become a better person. I've learned the things I Um like for example, I know I have a comedy friend that when I went to their place,
mhm,
I realized how nice their place is,
mhm.
and w- I've all of our convos are about interior design. It's like
What,
the
once you saw their place, that's all you guys have been talking about?
real talk. I'm talking like 4 or 5 months. We
Okay,
share like pictures of like bathrooms,
okay.
tiles. I got my mom in on it. So like there's a convo between me, my mom, and a comic. And like I think about that, like, yo, like I didn't have anything in common with my mom before this friendship.
That's
And like
very funny.
real talk, like now I have a better relationship with my mom because I discovered that I like this is just like shirts for like the wall.
Yeah.
You know, like that's all we doing here. Like, oh, this is dope. I didn't realize this is fitted hats for the bedroom.
Oh my
You know?
god. Wait, hold on, I'm just so you were saying that interior decorating
Yeah.
is nothing but fitted hats for the wall,
That's
shirts
what
for the
makes it
wall.
make sense for me.
Okay,
You know, like, oh, this is another way of
yeah,
expressing you.
that's beautiful. What
Real
a
talk.
what a turn of phrase. That's
Yo.
gorgeous.
But real, and I know I wouldn't have got there without comedy. And like
Yeah.
I found out a thing I like. Now I sent Gabby like, yo, you look at this bathroom, you know? And I got that through a comedy friendship. And now I have a better me and my mom, like, you know, I love her, she loves me. I don't know what to talk about with that lady. Now I do, you know. We have a
Like,
thing.
outside of family stuff, what else is there
Right.
to talk about?
Like
Sure.
I like, are you alive? I'm alive. That's the convo,
Right.
you know. But like now we just got like a thing we both like. And I found that through comedy. Real talk, yo.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. I like
That's
it really brought me joy. Like, oh, I built some cool friendships with people. and we found weird. And I like to think that somewhere there's a comic that's like, yo, like I say homie a lot more because of Gastor, you know.
There might be here. Okay, here's a test though. Um, have any of have you crossed streams with your 20 plus year friends and your comedy friends? Like, have you seen that come together?
I would say very little.
Mm,
Um, this would probably be like the New Year's is going to be like one of the tests for that.
okay.
Um, yeah, it is. It's still not going to. I have friends from 3 groups essentially right now.
Right. Yes. What are your friend groupings?
Yeah, comedy is a big
Mhm.
part of it.
Okay.
My high school friends
Sure.
and my like East New York friends.
Right. Okay. All
So
right.
they're very different. I've done East New York in high school. That went well, but it took a while for me to find the right mix of each.
Okay.
Like there's certain people that I'm like, you can't be here. You're not gonna work with this group, and vice versa. But
Okay.
the group that worked really well.
Mhm.
Um, Famously, my friends from high school used to throw a basketball tournament where like each of us would bring our local friends to play ball. And
Right.
that's kind of what really cracked it for my crew. Like all of my friends but me play ball seriously from
Okay.
East New York.
Mhm.
So I was going to the high school tournament to support,
Right.
and my friend saw this is how long ago this was, the dead aim instant message on AOL Instant Messenger
Mhm.
inviting me to it and asked if he could just put together the boys and be my representation in the tournament.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
we ended up sweeping the tournament.
Oh, wow.
So like it was like, yo, G, you got real ballers. Like, hell yeah, I always did. They're like,
Uh-huh.
you don't ball. Like, not at all. Not at all. This is who I run with. These are my people.
Right.
So that was a fun experiment,
Mhm.
you know. But I haven't done comedy with either group.
Mhm.
They've been in the same spaces. A lot of my people have come out to shows.
Right.
You know, my album recording, there was like moments of everybody being together, but
Okay.
like the whole group didn't end up chilling.
Right.
I was definitely like curious how that would go. That would have been like a
Yeah. I mean,
interesting energy.
I do your album release
Yeah, you did the
party
release
slash
party.
show? Okay.
Yeah,
And I was just like, I mean, all of these people in this room, it all makes sense that Gastor's friends with them, but they are certainly not friends with each other.
not at
And
all.
and that's such a wild energy to watch. To see a reaction and go, "Okay, that's like a childhood friend. All right, I think they probably work together. Okay, that's definitely someone who saw him on a show and is a fan of his comedy."
Real talk.
Like, I seeing the different pockets, it was very interesting.
Yeah,
Um
shaking hands after that was crazy because like the way you do it is different for each
Right.
pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real talk. I'm appreciative. I'm gonna try it. I know right now I sent the invites to the high school crew.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit up some comedy people.
Alright.
I don't ironically, even though it's in East New York, don't know if the East New York crew will come out.
Sure.
They're like they've all like moved to like Florida and Pennsylvania,
Right, yeah.
you know. So I'll make the offer, but I doubt they'll make the true.
Right, yeah.
You know. But I'm excited. Bring some people in. I'm feeling thankful. Holiday season is popping, Sha.
I mean,
Real talk.
alright, good luck.
Yeah,
I'll be there. I will, be seated in the corner. I will be watching all of the interactions.
it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
It could be 5 people. It could be 50 people.
yeah,
Either
that's
way.
great. That's why I keep it low key. I always keep it low key in the park, just like, "I'm here in this corner. I've got my bottle of ginger ale. We're good. Happy New Year. What is happening? What are these people doing?" That's always, how I've been. Yeah, yeah, mixing the different friend groups is, it's very interesting. But, I mean, I've done it for sure. I mean, my roommate here, Kevin, we met through
Yeah.
comedy. And that's another thing. I have no reason in real life to know a young man from Alabama. There's no
Real
reason.
talk.
A young white dude from Alabama? Why? Why would I need that in my life? I'm good. But comedy brought us together, and we have now lived together for 6 years as roommates, and he's one of my best friends. And but yeah, that's so like my parents knew him. You know what I mean?
Hell
Like that.
yeah.
Yeah, my sister. Like that's a but yeah, but that's still like I mean I have the people at the club that I went to the most, the people, actual close friends, music store people, porn store people that I know. These are
Yeah.
all just these little pockets, and I'm like, I don't know how to mix them. If they get all tangled up in each other, they do. But you know,
Real talk. We gonna get excited. Some people gonna get sloppy. We gonna make some jungle juice.
okay,
You
junk.
know,
Oh, I'll ask at the time. I'll
we'll
ask what's
see.
in it.
We gonna have a good time.
Mhm.
It'll be a vibe. Real talk.
So you'll definitely want to tune in, uh, troops and correspondents, for the first episode after this New Year's party.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Let's get into the news.
Yeah.
Kicking us off, New York woman accused of running a dentist office out of her home's kitchen. That's right. Okay. Woman was accused of running a dentist office out of her Hempstead one-bedroom apartment kitchen without a
One
license.
bedroom.
Yo,
Mm, gosh.
I love that you're like that's a fine place to run a dentist office
I
in, but
mean,
where's your back
who
room?
among us haven't gotten their hair done in somebody's kitchen or garage or someplace? But I just feel like I feel like okay, if you're doing the work in the kitchen, you're gonna need like a waiting room.
Yeah,
But then you also want your own personal space to be safe. So I feel like that should be like a at least 2 bedrooms.
I agree. Either that she doesn't cook clearly.
No, I would think not. I mean,
Nah.
if you're using salad tongs to pull a tooth, no thank you.
Real talk. You are a takeout person. You
Right, right.
know. Gladys Serrano, 70, allegedly extracted 5 teeth from someone on July 26th. The victim had gone to Serrano based on a referral. Yo, she get referrals. Oh man, the referral for a single tooth extraction.
First of all, victim or patient? How's that tooth healing?
Oh man, the victim was given paper towels to clean large amounts of blood and was told to rinse her mouth with salt water.
All things they tell you to do.
Real
What's
talk, she nailed it.
I mean, if you put it in a bright orange biohazard trash bag, I'm really not seeing the problem.
Photos of Serrano's apartment show the curtain dividing a patient's chair from the rest of the kitchen. Okay, sanitary.
Oh,
Um,
well, I'm looking at this photo. I don't know if it's small. It's a galley kitchen, by the way. Everyone, so it's one of those long, narrow kitchens with
real
everything is
talk.
on one side or the other. So, but and then at the end of it, there's a curtain, and I assume the work is happening there, on by the refrigerator. I guess
Real
is
talk.
probably where you keep all this stuff.
Patients deserve privacy. I
Yeah.
like that. Real talk. The victim visited Serrano several times after the initial visit to be fitted for a bridge.
Ooh,
Yo, she does it all.
okay. Yeah, yeah. All right.
I'm impressed. Serrano was accused of taking multiple molds of the victim's mouth, but the victim never got a bridge that fit properly. The victim paid $1,950 to Serrano for dental services.
See, and this is why this shit happens, because that is reasonable.
Real talk.
For getting 2 teeth pulled and then a bridge,
Yo,
1950? That's really not bad.
real
But
talk.
and
What's the number where you're like, I expect the office?
I mean, I'd love an office for all of it, but here their numbers are already oh god, what a racket. We are so screwed when
Yo,
it comes to dental work because there is a such thing as dental insurance, I believe. I think I'm paying for it now.
I've
But
heard.
then it only seems to cover like teeth cleaning. So if something happens, you know, to your teeth, they're just like, we got 5 on it. Like, and they mean literally $5. And
Real
that's
talk.
yeah, and so it's but you y your teeth are so important, but they're so expensive to take care of them, and I mean, it keeps you from work. It can if you've got bad and I speak from
Yeah.
experience. I'm sure that my jacked up mouth has probably kept me from like, well, maybe, but ugh, which I get. It's fine. But
We all got them. Yeah.
yeah, but like, yeah, it's so wild that we're at a point where someone is going to someone's kitchen to get it pulled. And what I'm thinking is this lady, this was probably her job. And I say that because um my mother was a dental assistant.
Right.
Um and so we had like this article says there were extraction tools, used impression molds, tartar scrapers, used dental needles, amoxicillin,
Oh,
Relaflex, and lidocaine. Right, this woman had all of that stuff. My mother didn't have like amoxicillin and lidocaine on like in the linen closet or anything, but she definitely had all of those little scrapey tools and little picks and all that kind of stuff.
yeah.
And this was like 70s and the 80s. So I'm talking like hard metal on enamel shit. And she would and those I don't know if you ever did this, the fluoride tablets where you could brush your teeth and then chew a fluoride tablet and it would stain wherever there was still remaining plaque.
No, I'm into
Yeah.
it though. That sounds dope.
Yeah, so it'd be like pink, you chew it, and then it would stick to whatever plaque is still left on your teeth. And then you'd
Oh,
know, like, okay, these are problem areas. We got to scrape that off, whatever. It tasted horrible. You weren't supposed to swallow. You're supposed to chew and like spit it out. There's a lot of spitting. Um, and yeah, but she had that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, we have a dentist office in the in our
yo,
kitchen. And I mean, I still got a terrible mouth. So like, because it costs money.
yo,
And
this stuff is expensive.
so I'm missing teeth on my left side, and I know it looks like I just eat terribly, which don't get me wrong, I do. But I also was supposed to get a bridge there and just
Ah,
ran out of money. There was a tooth. Yeah, yeah, I think it was supposed to be a bridge. And then like a crown on another place. And I just didn't have the money.
you ain't
And I
no
was just like,
Gladys.
"Oh, well, I guess I just chew on my right side for the next 15 years," which is what I've been doing. I've worn those teeth down, so now I'm like, "Well, I guess I just like soup." Like it's all soup and noodles and softly toasted bread for me now. So, like, this is a shame, um, but I don't feel like I I don't feel like it's a shame because this woman is nuts. I feel like it's a
Right.
shame because she's literally there's people who would be like, "Yeah, no, I'll go to that."
Yup.
How many people do you know that go to Mexico for dental
Ton,
work? Do you
ton of
know
people.
any?
Personally, yes.
I do too.
Yeah, real
I
talk.
know I know a few people.
Listen, yo, the medicals I know for a fact, um, first of all, my doctor, his office is in clearly a former bodega. Like
Mm.
so a bodega.
Right.
Real talk. Second, when I can't afford to go to the doctor and I need some medicine, I get it from two different bodegas.
Mm.
So bodegas literally keeping me alive. Literally, like, yo, former bodega is a doctor's office, and I get like all the medication I need. I go to a corner store.
Wow.
I have to first of all, like, I don't speak Spanish like great.
Right.
So I gotta convince them that like I'm not a cop.
Right, exactly, with
That's
your
like a big
bumbling
part of
Spanish.
real
Yeah.
talk. I come in super gringo looking, as they say.
Yep.
Real talk. I gotta like show. Like I'm showing a surprising amount of like verifying information about my life. Like I'm like, nah, be like, you know my dad,
Right,
right? You know, like
exactly.
I have to convince them that I'm for real of the culture,
Mhm.
and then they're like, "All right, what you need?" And then they like I get prescriptions,
Yeah.
and like I get all my medicine from that shit. Like so much so that like one of them is so real about medicine that like I've gone back. Like, nah, you gave me. I didn't need this one. I need this one. Like they take returns. Like that's how like a part of that business that medication is for that bodega.
Oh,
Straight
wow.
up. And like, so yeah, like when I heard this, like yeah, there's a part of this that's like, yo, it sucks that like this lady, you know, might not be all there. I think she's fully there. I
Mhm.
think she's offering a community service. And
She
I promise you,
referrals,
real talk,
referrals.
referrals. I promise you, most of the people that heard this story were mad about it.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, that was the spot.
I had an appointment.
Real talk, yo. Can you arrest her Monday? Like,
Yeah.
I got shit going on, B. Who gonna take off the bottom leg, like the braces now? You know,
Right, exactly.
real talk. I think she was like a sincere business.
Mhm.
People were about it. I think she knew her range and she got a little cocky. I think she had like certain dental skills she had cold, and she
Yeah.
might have gone too far, like
Yeah.
trying to do
I
this.
don't I don't know, maybe it literally was a bridge too far. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't even let that joke sit there. I immediately have to apologize for it, but but perhaps that was too much. Because yeah, you can't mold your way into that. That's a little tougher.
Real talk.
That's a bit tougher.
That's it. You gotta like work that into the deal. Tell me, hey, listen, man, it's a trial run. You know, I'm gonna charge you half, but like you gonna deal with coming back a few times. I might need to remold you.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I'm sure her work was some sort of relief for the people who needed some sort of relief.
Yeah,
Um, she's not doing veneers, which I don't know if you've heard about all this shit with veneers. People are literally just like taking bricks and sanding them down and weighting them white and sticking them in their mouth. There are veneer technicians.
yeah,
And I just don't look, I again, with my mother being a dental assistant, anytime we watched any show on television, she would be like, "Oh, he's got caps." Where they cap your teeth, right? They shave
right,
that. So she could spot that. And also, this was when we lived here in New York. So I think her dentist wasn't like the man that she was working for. I don't think he was like a dentist to the stars, but I think there were a few people who came
right.
through because she was like, "Oh, he has caps. He was in the office the other day or whatever, that kind of thing." But,
That's awesome.
yeah, like, caps looked like teeth to me.
Yeah.
These veneers look insane. Just like marble. They look like marble, and there's hardly a break in the teeth. There's no personality, and people never get them on the bottom. So it's just like a row of just sparkling marble on the top, and then these soldiers like going different directions off to war at the bottom. It's a lot. And and I'm like, well, you know what? If my mouth is going to look messed up, let it just be messed up through and through.
Amen. Amen.
Until I get like implant, you know what I mean? Or implants is also what they're pushing people for, which I'd be fine with that. I don't even know if we're doing old school dentures anymore. Does
No.
anyone keep their teeth in the glass anymore at night?
Yeah, you know?
Yeah, let's if we're still doing that, okay, cool. But if not, I guess I'd do implants. But like, yeah, I don't know. The veneers thing really bothers me when I see people with them. And apparently there are people who are doing it, and I don't know what the materials are that they're using, but they're not the proper materials. And
Right.
so mouths are becoming infected.
That's terrible.
It is terrible. But
Real talk, yo. This lady was out here saving them from that.
I know. She's pulling teeth that are problem areas, and these people are veneer folks are adding to it.
Yeah. She might have
So,
pulled too many teeth for Millie. 5 teeth is wild. She
yeah,
went
for
in for
one
one.
person, I mean, like that yeah. But the thing is, what happens when you have like a 5 a 5-member toothache?
Yeah, that's
Like
fair.
like what happens when that really is an issue? And I guess a professional should be looking at it, but there's no way for you to get to a professional.
Right.
Like you're turned away because it's like, well, you don't have dental insurance or enough money to pay for this, even if you did have dental insurance, then you got to go to old girl's kitchen.
Oh. Yo, that's the name of the dentistry right there.
Old girl's kitchen.
Old girl's kitchen practice. You know what I mean?
DDS. Um,
Oh, that's so great. Real talk. One day, by the way, I'm calling it now. I'm telling you.
mm.
You know how people be like, "Yo, you won't know, but there'd be signs." If I got well off, I would 100% have gold fronts. I don't know if I'd
Oh,
have them every day, but I'd have them in the rotation, like gold front Thursdays or something.
okay. I
Real
mean,
talk.
you could do that now? Couldn't you do it
I,
now?
I I can, but like I feel like I'm like there's too many times in my life where like I just barely pay the bill,
Oh, okay.
and I feel like Gabby's my partner.
Mhm.
I can't have that convo with her and then also have a go front day.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
I gotta
oh.
be real. Like, yo, like we gonna eat, PB and J's today for dinner, and then like 2 days later, I'm like on IG with my front. She gonna be mad. I love my wife. You know what I mean? I gotta keep it going. I gotta be respectful. That's one of the ways.
Okay.
But when we
Alright.
make it, go front Thursdays, baby.
Wow. I guess
We
when I
out here.
make it, I would have more colors of Sauconys. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly how. I'm gonna buy out the Old Navy. I'm not sure exactly what that looks like for me.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Other news. Mystery drones in Jersey, New York.
Oh, boy.
What's happening, Sha? Would it
Okay.
believe? Yeah, like I don't know what's going on with this. I found out about this literally yesterday.
Yeah, same here. So, I guess people are I don't know, a bunch of drones just kinda showed up in the sky,
Yeah,
and, um, now people are talking like, a lot of crazy talk. Hold on, let's see what this article says.
yeah.
Um,
What are believed to be large aerial drones have been spotted in the sky along the East Coast, in particular in Jersey and New York since mid-November. The first sighting was on November 19th at Morris County. The 22nd, there was a temporary flight restriction placed in Bedminster, New Jersey from the 22nd to December 6th. Then we have November 25th. The FAA issued a temporary flight restriction over Pasatani Arsenal military base. December 3rd, Morris County prosecutor advises the public how to report drone issues. The 4th, the FFA's flight restriction is extended. On the 9th, the mayor of 21 towns in New Jersey sent the governor, Philly Murphy, demanding action. On the 10th, New Jersey State Senator John Bramnick released a statement for a limited state of emergency regarding these drones. On the 11th, the Pentagon debunked claims that the mystery drones flying overhead in New Jersey were an Iranian mothership.
okay, yeah,
Yo, this
that's
is
I feel like
escalating.
where I came in and was like, "What the fuck are y'all talking about?"
Real talk.
Also, like, I are the drones still happening? You know what I
That
mean? 'Cause
yeah,
this feels like they're like, "Oh, we still got these drones." They're acting like they're like cicadas coming up or cicadas coming up
yeah,
from, like, underground, and, like, it's a swarm of drones every night. There's a new grouping of drones, and I don't understand, like, how often is this happening that they're having to, extend all of the flight restrictions and all this other stuff? This wasn't just like the drone showed up once or twice and we were like, "What is this?" Like, is it going on every day? Is there like a show every day?
I guess. I mean, admittedly, the updates to that article started getting progressively closer in date. So I
Right.
guess people are panicking more. But I
Yeah.
gotta tell you, I didn't know. My thing is like drones are easy to buy. Like,
Right. I think these are bigger than the average bear. I think these aren't just the kind that you can get at like Best Buy or whatever.
yeah, like I didn't think I was like I feel like I know a dude that like he used to fly pigeons. Now he flies drones. Like this
Oh.
is what he does now.
Wow.
And he just
Oh.
outside. He's the drone dude, and we just let him he drones out. There's no
It's the drone.
He just be chilling on the corner, just flying his drone.
Okay. I mean, I guess that's well, there could be issues there, but okay, that's great. Um, but yeah, I don't understand like I understand the issue. There are drones all of a sudden. What the fuck? But I don't understand how there wasn't more of an attempt to nip this in the bud.
Okay.
Like I'm not saying that we need to shoot them from the sky. I know we are a trigger happy country and
Right.
we are out here popping things right now. So I get it, but I like no one's able to get to the bottom of this
Yeah, like
for a month, almost a month. No one has been able to figure out. That's why I'm like, are they coming up like a laser show? Is it like every night at 10:30 these drones come out and then they make like a series of photographs and then they like how is this why is something that initially happened in mid-November is it early December that the mayors from 21 towns in New Jersey are like, we got to put a stop to this. Like, how often is this happening? I guess.
yo, I don't get it. I gotta tell you, every now and then, like, there's times when I believe that like the government is capable of a lot.
Uh
And there are
huh.
times when like I believe the government is not capable of enough. It's the
Okay.
latter to me.
Oh, all
Like
right.
I would have assumed that like tracking the drone would have been like real easy to figure out. To your point, I feel like there's certain things that like I've seen too many conspiracy theory movies that like,
Right.
oh, they could like track us through our phones. You can't track drones.
That's
You
what
could,
I'm saying.
you know what I'm
You
saying?
know exactly where I am and what thought I had, and you gave me an advertisement for it, but you
Yeah,
can't find all these damn drones that are what
real
like that's
talk.
a mystery? That's very strange to me.
We got 350 million people. You know everything about all of them. There's like 20,000 drones.
Right. And so I think the thing is that these drones are bigger than what I guess big
So
they're
that less of
big
them got
drones
made.
and there have been a few of them like 5 or 6 at a time just coming up out of the ocean or some shit and then flying away. I don't understand. Have we looked underwater?
Real talk.
I know it's the Garden State, but like dig a hole, see if they're coming from like what's happening.
Yeah.
Do something. Don't just sit around going, "Wow, we really got to figure." Like fucking come on.
Research.
Let's do a thing.
If they're bigger drones, there's less of those drones.
Well, no, I think if it's bigger drones and they're not our drones. But who
Yeah, you making drones like home ec? Like you can make that like in the garage? You
yeah,
gotta
no, someone
order
someone absolutely is making a huge someone is I guarantee there are at least 3 people in the state of New Jersey making a huge like uh drone themselves that they one day are hoping to not just fly up with a remote, but get in and fly. I guarantee there are at least 3 people doing that. There's
real talk.
yeah, there's a
Getting mad when you throw out like a bottle cap. That's like a piece for that drone right
right,
there, yo.
exactly. There's a scene in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which is the Steven Spielberg movie about aliens, trying to contact Earth and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Well, pre ET. It
Okay.
was before ET, but the aliens, if I remember correctly, because I did see this as a kid in theaters, those aliens kind of looked like ET, so they were like the proto ET type. So
Okay.
when I did see the movie ET and then he showed up, I was like, "Oh, it's just the Close Encounters dudes." I'm such a jaded child. Oh my god, I didn't even cry at ET. I was just like, "Eh." Anyway,
Not
there's a
impressed.
scene, Richard Dreyfuss is in the movie, and there's a scene like he has a dream about where the aliens like he saw something.
Right.
He and a little boy somewhere, they saw something in the sky and it's affected their brain. And so he is having visions of where they're going to land next. And he's at dinner with mashed potatoes on his plate, trying to form the uh the mountain, what the mountain looks like in his head where they're going to land.
Okay.
And that's what I mean. Like come on, let's show some if a guy is trying to figure it out through mashed potatoes. The government needs to step it up.
Amen.
Find the mashed potato guy.
Real talk.
Someone is out there making something, and they could probably lead us to the answer, but we don't want to know the answer because the answer is probably like it's our government. They're spying on us. They needed like cheap space to store all these fucking drones.
Like that's what Jersey's for.
Yeah, exactly.
Storage.
Let's just
Real
do it.
talk.
Yeah. We'll just use New Jersey. Who's in New Jersey? Well, plenty of
Yeah.
people, it turns out, who will see your huge fucking drones.
I really love the visual of like 10-year-old Shalewa, like just, hey, are you watching this movie because of the graphics, the impressive like third world extraterrestrial
Mm-hmm.
like imagery? Nah. I'm watching this because of Richard Dreyfuss. Okay, I'm a fan.
I'm a Richard Dreyfuss person. I don't know. I saw movies as a kid, and I feel like, I don't know if any of them really got me excited. I'm just like, oh yeah, I saw Close Encounters, sure.
Yeah.
But it's so wild to see that one as a child and just be like, oh, that's cool. But that meant that you were jaded at a time when you're supposed to feel emotions because you're like, I mean, I just saw Close Encounters like 6 years ago. What's this ET supposed to do for you know what I mean? Like you get into it and you're like, I mean, I guess. So
Pastor Brown.
yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. Just in dark sunglasses, smoking a cigarette, like I've seen better. Like, what are you talking about? You're 9. Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't take a 5-year-old to see Close Encounters. What can I tell you?
Oh man. Shalewa at the table, like, there's more than 64 colors, right?
Oh my god, I think that actually might be what I was like as a child. That's why it was so hard to make friends because I was that kid.
Oh man. If you would like the animated series Shalewa, the 9-year-old, all you gotta do is like subscribe to the show, baby. If you're an Apple or Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You realize that this would still be an adult show.
It would. I mean, 9 is how old I was when I told my mom's friend who had asked me, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I told her I wanted to live alone in a 1-bedroom apartment. I was like 9 when I said that.
That's
So
awesome. Oh man, five stars. You agree it should be an adult show, but we should tone down the 9-year-old smoking. Okay,
I
good
mean,
thought.
I made cigarettes out of paper. Okay,
Yeah.
I used to cut up little pieces of paper and fold them up and then color the tips orange, and then I would pretend to smoke. Now, no, my parents didn't smoke. No adult around me smoked. I think smoking is disgusting. I hate the smell of it. I hate the act of it, but I think it looks cool.
Real talk.
And
Vibe,
so I used to pretend that I would smoke, and I have no desire to actually do it. But I am one of the idiots that's like, oh, but it does look cool though.
Oh man, if you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter and Instagram at Silky Jumbo at Gastor Almonte. Shout outs this week to Iron Fist Mom, FCBLJ, and the Rare Element. With all that said, I am I gotta check out this movie, Gastor Almonte. This is yeah, this
Yeah, you
I don't
should
think
you
it's
should watch Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
real talk, man. I
Yeah, I read the
think
book too. Like I don't even care about space. At that point it was like, oh, there's a book version of this. I'll read that.
Yo, real talk, Shop.
Hmm.
You have debated on whether or not to redo your Substack.
Right.
What if you did your Substack only as 9-year-old Shalewa? Yo,
Oh, well, I've got those. That's the diary that I've got in storage because I got my first diary at 9. And it's not as interesting as you think. There's a whole lot of Ricky Schroeder talk until
Okay.
I saw Jason Bateman, and then I was like,
Ooh.
oh no, I think I like brunettes better than. So there's a whole lot of just whoever the hot young brunette actors were. There's a lot of that.
Shouts to Ricky Schroeder, doesn't get enough credit.
No. He turned out to be a terrible person. I was correct to switch over to Jason Bateman. I was absolutely correct.
Real talk. I actually know very little about Ricky Schroeder. I just only one of the few names I remember because he was from Brooklyn. That's
Oh,
about it.
was he?
Yeah, he was born in Brooklyn.
Oh, he Silver Spoons. Do you remember that TV show? Maybe not.
I only know him from I think it was NYPD Blue.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Real
Yes.
talk.
I mean, at least on NYPD Blue, that was when they were experimenting with like showing a bare ass on network television.
Yeah.
So I got to see his bare ass, and I was like, all right, well, 9-year-old Shalewa might be happy at that. I don't know. It's very convoluted because I believe he's a terrible person now, but he's
Somewhere.
still around.
Part of you is happy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone's happy. Still not Jason Bateman though.
No. We're Jason Bateman fan. Shalewa Sharpe.
Yep.
Real talk. He actually scared the hell out of me and Michaela this week. We watched his new film on Netflix. It was just trippy to see him as a bad guy.
Oh yeah, I kind of like this turn for him of
Yeah,
being
it was good.
a bad guy. Yeah, I'm
Real
enjoying that. I like him being a bad guy. I like Hugh Grant being a bad guy. I haven't watched that movie, but I like him going from like bumbling heartthrob to like very evil old man. I'm here for it. That's the natural progression of things. If you are not a bad guy by the time you're in your 50s or more, have you really lived?
Real talk, yo. Real talk. I actually think that's how the agent pitches them. Real talk. You haven't lived yet, do you?
You haven't lived until you're a terrible person on screen.
Do it one time. Look what it did for 10 seconds.
Right.
You know? Catch y'all next time. Peace.